Hello, my name is Benjamin Burse. I got a microdiscectomy, L5 S1, and I wanted to document my progress. This is day 2. So what led me to the surgery was a bit of numbness and weakness in my right leg. I had about an inch stripe going down the hamstring, starting at the glute hamstring interface, traveling all the way down to the back of the knee, a little into the calf, and a little onto the right foot. It had varying degrees of numbness. I'd say 100% in the hamstring, 60 behind the knee, 40 in the calf, and then about like 20 in the right foot, about the width of the pinky toe and including the pinky toe on the right side of my foot. Anyway, no one really cares about numbness. It's the weakness, the motor deficit. I can't stand up on the toes on my right foot like I can on my left. So that's what led me to get the surgery. Most of the time, people seem to get it for excruciating pain that's very chronic and can't be solved with epidural shots or any other methods, chiropractic care, acupuncture, what have you. Mine actually it was interesting. I was sort of disabled for about 2 or 3 months in the sense that I walked with a limp, but I still had full strength in my leg. This was after a deadlift incident, I believe, but I didn't feel pain until 4 days after. But anyway, so I was walking with this limp mainly because I felt this nerve tension in my leg, and I couldn't straighten my leg all the way out in front of me, even though I could feel everything and I had full strength. So I walked with shorter right steps. Anyway, I went on a vacation and did some hiking, and it got worse. You know, I started getting numbness traveling down the leg and sciatica, the pain. For about a week, I had what it seems like most people describe as the excruciating sciatic pain, and I feel fortunate that I only had it for about a week, but it's true what they say. It can feel like anything from razor blades to just straight fire or kind of like a dull ache, you know, just wherever it is, and you really kind of get a feel for where your nerve is in your leg. Anyway, when I returned, the pain went away when I got home from vacation, and I was still left with the weakness and the numbness. So I went to my spine specialist, and they advised against surgery at first to, you know, give conservative treatments a try, and I did PT for about 2 months. And I'll be honest, I got about 4 opinions, I'd say, that are like the absolute source of, you know, why I made the decision I made. Like, I guess, like true credible sources, 2 surgeons, a spine specialist, and a neurologist. So those are like my, like, you know, big advice-giving sources. But the spine specialist still thought I should just not get the surgery and keep going with just waiting and PT and resting and just, you know, he says these things shrink over time. But I read some documents online, and it didn't seem like it was 100%, you know, guaranteed that these disc herniations can shrink. So anyway, you know, I talked to my surgeons, and they said that, like, you know, they could remove it for me, but there are risks. And I talked about it with some family doctors and that are in my family, and, you know, they told me that if, you know, they had weakness, that they would get it, because apparently pain is the you know, first symptoms, and then it moves into like paralysis, I guess, eventually. So weakness is technically more severe. What made my case, I think, especially challenging, and why I want to make these videos for people, is one, thank you for everyone who's made videos that came before. You know, they paved the way, and it's really useful information. I've watched over like 50 stories, as you can imagine, and if you're going through this, then you know how crazy this is emotionally more than even physically. But anyway, my numbness and weakness wasn't getting worse, but it wasn't getting better. So a lot of times the doctors say if it's just pain, try to not have surgery if you can manage it, unless it's upsetting your life. And if the numbness and weakness is getting better, as far as, like, you know, you're getting your strength back, then definitely don't get surgery, because it seems like things are getting better. But you know, it's not really clear in cases where it's not doing either. You know, if it's getting worse, clearly you get surgery, obviously. But if it's staying the same, you know, you're really trying to figure out, okay, like, if this nerve is pinched and it's, you know, not getting blood flow and stuff, you know, it may be dying or may already be dead. You know, I could already have permanent nerve damage. But if I remove this herniation now, at least I give my nerve the best chance that it can heal. And there may already be scar tissue in there may not. So maybe my nerve can, now that everything's freed up, heal. and I think I'm going to do some videos up through like 6 months or even a year, just to try to give everybody a feel for how this is going, because I think this case in particular is one that people are really interested in, because it's so unknown. If you read a couple papers, and I don't pretend to know the literature that well, but it seems like microdiscectomies, are very successful for pain especially. But once it starts to become a weakness, numbness issue, it seems like the rate of return of like feeling and sensation and motor function is less. It's not impossible. My surgeon told me he has had cases where the weakness and numbness did recede. I've seen a couple videos actually online, and I'll post them below. I'll add them so you can see of people who actually document their weakness receding, two in particular. But I'm on day 2, so I know that I got at least a month or so, maybe 2, before I'm feeling better. I mean, I'm actually already feeling pretty good. I'm surprised that I'm standing. I didn't really know what to expect, but it seems like I'm having a similar outcome to a lot of people, where you can kind of stand the first day. I definitely can't bend, lean, twist, obviously, none of that. Sitting on the couch is definitely tough. If you can get a high bed, I would recommend it. I don't have the highest bed or couch, so luckily I have a friend here who helps like lower me down. But I'm working with it. It's painful, but honestly, it's like a 2 or 3 out of 10. I can manage very well. I've only been taking about 1 pain pill a day, and it says I can take them every 4 hours, so it's not that bad. I went on a walk to a river and back today, which was about, I'd say, 2.5 miles total there and back, all included. And I don't want to push it too much, but the doctors say that the worst thing I can do is just lay around all day. So I'm mixing up laying down, sitting, walking, laying down, sitting, walking. Obviously not picking anything up, and just trying to, keep myself from being too bored, honestly. But I'm not actually that bored. It's not that bad. Anyway, if you have any questions or anything, let me know. But this is day 2 of an L5 S1 Microdiscectomy. I'll see if I can somehow do some video editing and add in my MRI so you can get a feel for what the real situation was. Anyway, sorry for being long-winded. Hopefully the next ones are a little shorter, but that's the history. Thanks for watching.